left, Jess on his right. Hey, hold up, don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Wake and Jake in the morning, Wake and Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Ooh, Lordy. What a March 11th it is. Got the date right. Huge. We are joined by two of the hot boys of John Boy Media today, Bobby Skinner and Big Baby David, along with myself. We're still in this weird sports cycle a little bit. What's going on, Bakers? Where spring training's happening, and that's exciting, but that only brings so much actual sports news. You see a guy show up in a New Jersey, that's kind of it, and now we're living in fear of injuries. NBA had their weird all-star break. They did it. I'm sure Bobby's got some all-star break hot takes. His Nets are collecting the old Clippers teams from yesteryears. And I think the biggest thing that the reason we wanted you here, Bobo, is because we've been talking about some football. Well, first, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. Glad to meet the John Boy Media people. Nice to meet you guys. Jump on with you.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to the comments. I remember the last time I was on, I was like, this guy looks like the guy from The Incredibles and stuff. So I always enjoy the comments whenever I'm on.
Yeah.
Well, I think last time you were on, we were still on the main channel, and those people don't even like us. So
yeah,
no, they did. They liked me. They were endearing comments. So.
I mean, whatever you got to hear. Bobby, we've been rolling through some stuff. There's been sports news, and things pop up. The biggest thing recently was the Dak contract. So we figured, okay, Dak. I hit up Keith. We'll get all the old talking sports #memories opinions on that. But me and BBD have also been doing what's kind of going on with the NFL. It was looking like it was going to be hot in the streets. There was the Goff trade, Deshaun Watson rumors, and Wentz. And then, you were telling me before this, it's kind of cut season. We're waiting for free agency in the draft. Like, what's going on? Steal more headlines, NFL.
Well, it is cut season because of the cap going down like 20 mil because of COVID. So I mean, everybody is just strapped for a cap. Everyone is built for it to go up every year. So everyone's cutting, and I think all the QB deals that you talked about are done. Goff for Stafford, Wentz. I don't see any more happening. There's a couple of teams that'll get free agents. Maybe Washington with like a Cam Newton with Ron Rivera reunion. But the only two big names out there for trade left are Russ Wilson and Deshaun Watson, where Deshaun Watson is going full force at it, and Russ Wilson's like half pregnant with it, where he's like, I'm not demanding a trade, but I sure wouldn't hate one.
Yeah, the Russell Wilson quotes were pretty. I think I'm a top 5 quarterback ever, but I don't know if the team thinks that, and it's like, well, I don't know. Win a little more. And then we could talk about it.
You're good.
He got bit in the ass this year because the whole let rest cook. He's never won never got an MVP vote, and it started out great. Like they were throwing the ball, let him do whatever he wanted, and then teams adjusted. And in fact, even my Giants, I think, were like the first on the trend to kind of confuse him. And granted, his O-line wasn't good, but a lot of his sacks are Russell Wilson looking down the field trying to make the big play and leaving people wide open underneath to not throw to. So. The Seahawks, they said at the end of the year, like, we're going to try and run the ball a little more, and I know that gets a lot of, football people mad. But it's true. When you let Russ just go, it ends up kind of biting him in the ass, which Russ is a great QB, but you can't let him throw 50 times a game because he's going to get these sacks and these bad turnovers. And like I said, he started out as the MVP favorite, and the end of the year, they're losing in the first round or second round or whatever it was.
Yeah, you mentioned in that Giants-Seahawks game gave me flashbacks. That seems years ago, and it was such good Giants energy. The Seahawks were kind of shooting straight downhill at that point. But we'll come back to that. We'll come back to Russ and Deshaun. I want to do a little bit of where you're at with free agency, a little bit eyeing some draft stuff. I know maybe we'll just get ourselves hyped for some John Boy Media draft stuff, but Dak's the news, Bobby. Dak signs the mega 4-year contract. What was it, 4 for $160 with a $4 million kicker? Some Jerry Jones incentives there. The press conference was pretty bizarre.
Jerry Jones, man, he never. He never could just say that we love Dak and we want to do it.
Yeah, man. Like what? Like in what world did he think that was going to be cool?
Stuff gets blown out of proportion all the time, And then I watched that clip where he's like, everything that's worked out for me, I've overpaid for. It's like, dude, you just called him overpaid to his face. Yeah. Like that. I get your point, but it's like, just don't say that. Just be like, hey, everything that I did that was worth, keeping was, worth a lot of money. You don't have to say that you overpaid for.
Do anything at the press conference except say you overpaid.
That's going to get sound like it's overpaid. Like every fan base besides Cowboys fans are saying that. And then now it's like, oh, even the Cowboys owner's saying that now too.
So, stepping away from Giants fan Bobby for a minute, where are you at with the contract? NFL Bobby Skinner. I mean, quarterbacks get paid. It's kind of like who's up next. Dak seemingly timed it pretty well. He bet on himself a little bit, and he gets the big bag. And I think the other thing is the short years, that if Dak can stay good for these 4 years, he's going to get another big bag. He's going to be 31, and the TV deals are going to be up and all that. So, I mean, are you going with Jerry's overpaid? Are you going with it is what it is, or where are you at?
It is what it is. I mean, you had to pay Dak, and the Cowboys screwed themselves by letting him get to a franchise tag year, and then playing through the year with the franchise tag and getting injured. That's what happens, because either you pay me or you're just going to keep paying me all this guaranteed tag money. Or you make me a free agent, and you're not going to they were not going to make him a free agent. I don't think that was ever an option for Dallas, unless there was some type of trade option. But so they had to do it. Dak is a good QB. He's not in the that top tier, but he is a good QB. He keeps Dallas competitive with Dak. They're the best team in the division, even though it is a weak division. So they had to do it, and the Cowboys screwed themselves by not getting this done 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, and I mean, it was funny, and I think a lot of people probably got some freezing cold takes out there when it came to Wentz and Dak. I think I'm definitely one of them, and I was kind of drinking the Wentz Kool-Aid, and hey, maybe he bounces back with Indianapolis and makes everyone look dumb now that he's back with Reich, and that whole Philly situation ended up so ugly. But man, when you look at Dak on paper, and I remember even watching him, there's been growth. Like I know quarterbacks can put up numbers a lot easier in the NFL than they used to, but 4,900 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 picks in 2019. He gets hurt in the fifth game last year, but Dak's good, and the division's still wide open. I know you're rooting for your G-men, and we'll see if Danny Jones can take another little step and if they can get some more support around him. I see this crazy guy screaming about, do some stuff with their O-line on the internet. But, I mean, Cowboys are the easy favorite in the NFC East. Yeah,
to me, I mean, the Giants, the Cowboys have the same record as the Giants without Dak for the majority of the year, even though they weren't good with Dak. Their offense was good, but their defense was so bad. And that before he got hurt in that Giants game. But yeah, they have a good offense. I know their offensive line is a little older now, but all those weapons, you would have to think Zeke won't be as bad as he was this past year. And Dak makes them the easy favorite, where the Giants, like you said, does Daniel Jones make the next step? Their roster isn't great. Washington, we don't even know who their QB is going to be, and then the Eagles are just a mess at the bottom.
Yeah, man. I don't know. The Dak contract kind of went under the table for a little bit as the season went on, and I don't know. I kind of had this weird thing because we were talking about Aaron Judge, and Yankee fans always get obsessed about Judge. It's, was he the next captain? Is he the next captain? Or what's Judge's contract going to look like? Blah, blah, blah. And there's still so much to figure out with Judge. If he gives another healthy top 5 MVP season, that man probably deserves to get paid big money. If he has another injury-riddled year, the Yanks are just going to wait it out. And I was wondering, and I think Jimmy brought this up, so I'll give him some credit. Jimmy, it's at JohnBoy_ on Twitter, if you're on there.
I've heard of him.
He, he was kind of doing the Judge. There's not a lot of players like this anymore, but Judge is a star because he's in New York. Like, if Aaron Judge was on the Cincinnati Reds or the Kansas City Royals, like, we would know of him. He would be Joey Gallo, kind of. Like, Joey Gallo's is, kind of a known commodity. I think Judge is better, but being in New York, being larger than life helps him. That I was, you wonder if there is an actual financial equation where it's like, okay, I'm going to be more famous. I'm going to be, if Aaron Judge stays in New York, he's going to get TV spots and everything for the rest of his career. I was wondering if there was going to be a Dak situation kind of like that, because, like, if Dak went to Jacksonville and he was kind of bleh and he just rode out the rest of his NFL career, like, I don't know, he would be a guy. Where if you're the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, even if you're mad the rest of the way, which I think will be better, you're the quarterback of the Cowboys. Like, you're known. Look at Aikman, look at Romo. Like, you're going to be around.
Yeah, the difference is in football, no one lets their quarterback get the free agency. Kirk Cousins was the only one. And I don't think anyone out there is like a huge Kirk Cousins support. Like, he's really good. We have to keep this guy. I mean, Minnesota fans are up and down on him. So that's the difference to me. Where in baseball you see stars go, and football is more. There's one game a week. Every team, every team is popular if they're good. Where baseball, like you said, it's such a local sport where. He's Joey Gallo. He's Joey Gallo, on the Reds. Like Trevor Lawrence, if he's good and the Jags are good, he's going to be a star. Like, it doesn't matter that he's on Jacksonville; he's still going to be a star. Yeah,
it's true. I guess the thing for me is, I have Dak on any given year, and I'd have to actually bring up the quarterbacks. But Dak's year, if Dak has his best season, he's going to be a borderline top 6-7 quarterback. Like, if he balls out.
Yeah. What sucks for him is his coaches have never given him an advantage. With Jason Garrett, now Mike McCarthy, it seems to be like a mess with him. He's got all the talent in the world, but if you look at his splits at, like, winning teams versus non-winning teams, it's like two totally different players.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We'll finish up the NFC East. I think, and I talked to Keith about this, resident Cowboy fan. He's obviously happy Dak's back, and
Did you see Skip Bayless's video? I have the clip of it.
Bring Skip up. He's always spitting fire on the timeline.
People that don't like Skip Bayless confuse me. It's like, just understand.
So happy.
I mean, that's just a great clip. I've used that already like 3 times already.
So happy.
I mean, that's what. And I'll be honest. I was kind of one of them for a little while with Skip and Stephen A. And I was kind of doing this like, what's going on with sports media? Like, this isn't great. This isn't good. But those guys put on a show. They're entertainers. And, like, that's why when you see Skip Bayless doing his weird thing where he puts his jersey in his microwave trash can or whatever the hell that thing was, it's like, this is good content. I know it's not great football analysis, but now you go to other places for that and you watch those guys be silly.
Yeah, different strokes for different folks, and now that we're not so reliant on the ESPN, Fox Sports 1 TV people, it's like, if you don't like them, don't watch. Which I don't, but I when I do see him pop up, I always get a good laugh out of Skip.
Good moments.
It's good.
What
do you got, BBD?
Now, Bobby, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
In the little bit of research I've done, like, the Cowboys did do, like, as good a job as they could, given the total money here, as far as, like, navigating cap stuff and giving it. You got, like, the biggest signing bonus ever. So, like, doesn't he get, like, kind of a cap friendly number? Am I making that up?
No, I don't think it's this year, but one of the years they were paying him like $72 million, like one of this year, like to get that out of the way.
I think in real dollars, it might be this year. I saw it was the biggest signing bonus ever or something like that.
Yeah, it was 72 mil.
Yeah.
Because I think they included like the franchise tag number.
Oh, that's right, because he got franchise tag, so they can't use it again, which that was a pretty wild aspect. Good for Dak getting paid. Good for Cowboys fans. Man, the NFC East, it's next year's going to be a doozy. Next year's going to be doozy. Bobby, before we move on, we'll get some quick Giants quick hitters, and then we'll do some around the league. Bob, have we sent you any cushy dreams yet?
No, you haven't.
Wow. Have you messed around with CBD at all?
Yeah.
You messed around with CBD's evil cousin.
Yeah. I need some cushy dreams.
Yeah, man. Dude, cushy dreams, they're awesome. This is the first official Jake Cushy Dreams ad. The promo code is Jake, 20% off. So we've made it. Mom, we're here. Bob, we're gonna have to get you some. You got any football soreness, anything from back in the day?
Yeah, my knees, they're just brutal at this point. It's maybe not football and more me, maybe need to drop a few LBs.
Okay.
But yeah, I could use some cushy dreams.
Okay. Well, me and BBD were debating doing some Tom Brady diet. Maybe we'll rope the Talking Giants guys into that for
Weren't
a week
you guys
or something.
supposed to do that?
Okay.
I could do it for a month or whatever.
Suppose we couldn't pin down what the rules are.
We're
part
simple
of it.
man. We're speaking of simple man. Ad. But if you give us some rules, me and BBD will play. I don't care what I eat
I've been
at all.
treadmilling a lot, so
Wow.
I was hoping that would just count.
And I think the biggest thing is drinking water. And if there's one thing I am good at health-wise, is just drinking only water all day long.
Well, what goes great with water is Cushy Dreams. CBD, it helps with anxiety, depression, pain relief. You guys have probably heard us talking about Cushy Dreams. They've been awesome. They've been a really good partner with us. I think me and Jimmy have to take another video smoking it today, so I think we'll be doing that at some point. So watch for that on the timeline. So that's kind of a weird career path. Yeah, Bobby, we'll have to get you some and mess around with it. It's fun stuff, man. And a lot of our people have reached out that have gotten it and be like, yeah, this helps me sleep. So that's huge. Sleep's a pretty big aspect of life. CushyDreams.com, KUSHY, promo code Jake, 20% off your next order. So if you already used a John Boy promo code or whatever it is, you're still good. Use Jake. You get 20% off again. Give it a try. I would appreciate it. And you got to do everything once in this world. So, Cushy Dreams, promo code Jake. We're going to get Bobby some. We're going to get Bobby, Pennick, Danny King some. And the CBD boys.
Down the Key West. We'll take it all down the Key West.
Down to Key West. So, all right, Bobby, how about this? We mentioned the Cowboys seem to be the favorite in the NFC East. We'll see what the rest of their offseason looks like. I'm sure Jerry's got something up his sleeve. What do the Giants need to do? What's the game plan? What's the formula? What has Bobby Skinner on Cloud 9 coming September 1 of this football season?
Well, hopefully drafting either Jalen Water or Kyle Pitts with pick number 11. Hoping one of those guys fall. Kyle Pitts seems to be you could see him going at like 3, and then you could see him, dropping a little bit. But getting a weapon for Daniel Jones. He needs a weapon.
So are you fine with any of the Bama receivers? You're just thinking Waddle's going to be the last one on the board?
I like Waddle more than Devontae Smith.
Okay.
Jamar Chase, I think, is the best wide receiver. And then I think Waddle and then Devontae Smith. But I would be fine with either one of those guys. We need someone who can get some separation for Daniel Jones. And then free agency, we don't know what's going to happen yet because right now they're kind of in has some issues with the cap. Now there's 3 days to get some stuff figured out, so I'm sure they'll clear it up. But I don't expect any huge moves. Kenny Galladay is the top of our wish list, but it's also one of those like, hey, I would like it, but I'm not expecting it because he kind of is the perfect wide receiver for Daniel Jones. I mean, Daniel Jones had like the best QB rating throwing downfield. He's a touch thrower. That's like the perfect situation for a Galladay type. But I do see free agency just being some like little filler in type of deals, especially with the way the cap went down this year. and then the draft, get him a wide receiver and Waddle.
Okay, so there's your G-Men fix. I was gonna bring up because I saw these numbers come out the other day. The NFL teams with cap space. It looks like the Jets, the Patriots, Jaguars, and then there's kind of a different tier: Bengals, Colts, Texans. Do you if I said Bobby Skinner, who's going to be like the team that people are talking about this offseason? Who's going to be making the splash in free agency or whatever it is? Who would you bank on?
Man, it'd be interesting to see if the Jags. I mean, the Jags have the most cap space. They have, Trevor Lawrence. I could see the Jags just being like, "Hey, we'll spend the most on Kenny Golladay. We'll spend the most on, Bud Dupree. We're just gonna ball in free agency." So I do think the Jags could be that team. And also, watch out for the Patriots.
Yeah, man.
They had a lot of guys opt out last year. They've got space. I don't know what they're gonna do at QB. I wouldn't bring back Cam. I think Cam might be done in the NFL. I really think it's the Patriots, Washington, or no one else for him. But watch out for the Patriots. I don't. Bill Belichick is not happy with the way things went last year. He's not happy with the new narrative that it's like, oh, it was actually all Brady and Belichick actually sucks. Most people don't think that, but there is like a vocal minority who are like very anti Bill Belichick. So watch for the Patriots, man. I like to see what they do and come back and try and make that defense really strong.
Man, the opt-out thing you just mentioned, I forgot about. Like, they had, what was it? They had, like, 9 guys opt out last year, and I think...
They had all their guys opting out, and that had the rest of the league being like, oh, gosh, are a lot of our guys going to opt out? And it ended up being really mostly just the Patriots.
So, yeah, with guys coming back, that amount of cap space, the quarterback thing... I just don't know, because who can they get? Like, what's their best-case scenario quarterback? Like, they can't get Watson. I don't think they have assets for that. They're not getting Russ. I mean, the guy that would be scary would be Darnold, but the Jets would never.
No, Darnold is the only realistic trade option, but like you said, the Jets aren't going to do that. It'd have to be a QB in the first round. Or people have talked about Mariota. Now, I kind of get annoyed a little bit with the talking points about the Patriots. Everyone's like, "Oh, they should get the bad QB and try and make him good." Like that. Like, why do you think the Patriots should just get the bad QBs? Yeah. But Mariota has some talent. No, you can work with a guy like Mariota, even though he hasn't been good. But the draft, whether it's like a guy like Trey Lance, who I'm not a big fan of, Mac Jones from Alabama. But I just don't see them trying to run it back with Cam, because it wasn't all on Cam, but it was brutal.
Man. Yeah, I don't know, because everything you said is so right. I mean, Belichick is stewing after what Brady did this year. They had guys opt out. They have so much money. But there's no QB answer. Is it Alex Smith, Jacoby Brissett? Are they free agents?
Yeah, they're both free agents. I wouldn't go after either one. Brissett maybe for cheap, but he's not going to get the job done for you. Maybe you win 9-10 games with a good team, but Brissett's not getting the job done. And Alex Smith is done too. Like, he wasn't good in Washington. Washington won because of their defense. I don't see that working either. So I really think if they want to really make a run at this year, it's going to be through the draft somehow.
Jameis to New England?
That's another guy. Everyone acts like Jameis is good. It's like he had like some of the best weapons in Tampa. Had 5 years to get it done. It's like, why do we think Jameis spending 1 year on the bench with the Saints is all of a sudden make him good? When in fact Sean Payton saw him for half a year, and like they brought him in to be the backup QB. They did not tell Jameis that we want to sign you to be the third string QB. And then after 8 weeks of Sean Payton seeing him, like, yeah, I'll run with Taysom Hill. I'll start Taysom Hill for 3 weeks over Jameis. So. I think if Bill wanted Jameis, he would have got Jameis last year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I haven't really hit up my Baston friends to see if there's someone else that they're leaning, but yeah, I mean, I get it with Jameis though. I mean, you see potential with him that you just don't see in other quarterbacks. Like, yes, obviously the turnover stuff is there and it's scary, but like, I just brought up Sport Track in the NFL free agents, and it's like, Andy Dalton. I mean, is Trubisky officially a free agent? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, at least with Jameis, you talk yourself into some excitement.
yeah. He does good. It's not like Jameis isn't capable of doing good stuff. But it's like when we're in year 7 and we're still talking about potential, I'm out on you.
Yeah.
You know. So it's like, could Jameis come in and light it up for a few weeks? Yeah, but I don't like people were saying Jameis was better than Breeze. It's like, look at Breeze's year this year. Like, I get it, he didn't throw the ball deep and stuff, but I don't think Jameis was going to run that team better than Drew Brees would have. Now, that last playoff game was Drew Brees' worst game of the year, so that's what's fresh in everyone's mind. But I don't think a Jameis-led Saints in 2020 is better off than a Drew Brees-led Saints.
Man, clicking through some of the free agents now, there's some big names out there. I wouldn't be surprised if Bill just goes full defense.
I think that's what he wants to do. That's how they won their
Yeah.
first Super Bowl. It was, at the time, it was like, oh, is it Brady's just the guy where, the defense is what's winning these games for the Patriots. So.
I mean, it's unfair to do because it's what you just said about the Patriots and quarterbacks. We still have this aura of, like, if a guy joins the Patriots, we just think they get, like, double as good as they are. It's because it has happened for a couple guys, but, like, dude, I'm looking at some of these defensive names. I mean, technically, Von Miller's a free agent right now. Is he?
I can see Vaughn going to the New England. And Belichick is maybe the greatest defensive mind of all time. Like, that's where, people have said that with QB, even though, Tom Brady's been the QB there forever. Defense is where that happens with the Patriots, where guys is like, oh, what is this guy going to do defensively? The New England, he goes and balls out. Where Jamie Collins is looked at as a max player. They trade him to the Browns. They cut him. He comes back, looks awesome, leaves, gets another contract, and now the Lions are restructuring with Jamie Collins. So that's where you see, like, the genius of Belichick really is on the defensive side more than the offense. Because, we've seen with Brady that Brady was the engine behind that offense.
Man, and again, some of these defensive names, man, if you put them in New England, Von Miller, Melvin Ingram, Bud Dupree, Shaq Barrett, Jarrell Casey, Patrick Peterson, A.J. Bouye, Jadeveon Clowney, Kyle Van Noy, Malcolm Butler coming off of Tennessee where he stunk again and some bad feelings. Maybe he gets the resurgence. Ryan Kerrigan, it feels like that's a guy that ends up in New England just because that's how the NFL works. Enough Patriots. I didn't want to end up here. So you're out. We shouldn't get excited for Deshaun Watson at all. It's not happening.
Unless Watson skips games, I don't see it happening. Okay. I think that's the only way the Texans trade Deshaun Watson, if he does not show up to games. And, more power to you, Deshaun Watson, if you decide to do that. But that's a lot of money per game to be skipping. His contract, I think it kicks in this year around like $40 million. So that's every game he misses is like $3 million. Maybe, NFL contracts are weird, so I'm probably wrong on that. And it's nonetheless, it's a lot of money every game he misses. Is he willing to do that?
Even if it's half of that, that's $1.5 million every Sunday brutal. For skipping a game. So, that's crazy. No, we've run through this a few times now, and it's crazy that the Jets seem like the only team that makes sense because they've got what seems like enough draft capital, and hell, you throw Darnold in as a kicker, but I don't know. I still want to believe in that, Bobby.
The Jets or the Dolphins could throw, Godfather off. But it's, I don't know. It's just, our team's going to want to trade 4 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson, who's never gotten past the conference championship game, and I've seen people be like, well, if Deshaun Watson automatically makes you a contender, it's like, well, look how good Deshaun Watson was this past year, and the Texans were 4-12. Like he had an awesome year, and they went 4-12. So I get the idea of get your QB and figure out the rest later, but you're also talking about teams that are picking in the top 3, who either the Dolphins might want to stick with Tua, and the Jets, like, why not just like, hey, let's hope we get the next Deshaun Watson and a Zach Wilson or Justin Fields or whoever, and keep all our draft picks.
Ooh, Bobby, you just kind of let us into the draft a little bit. You mentioned the QBs. Man, I haven't done anything on the draft yet. I'm a secret draft nerd. I like getting into it. I don't know the X's and O's, but I think I don't want to say that helps me at all, But if you read enough about what the smart people around football say and use your own eye test, I think, I land in the same general area with a lot of people. And football, there's any draft, there's natural misses. You see it in the NBA, you see it in NFL. I know people have been running hot on Mayock with the Raiders because this year a bunch of his free agents and his draft picks stunk, but the year before he was fantastic. And I think that's just kind of the nature of the sport. So have you done like the quarterbacks yet?
The quarterbacks, I've done I did a little bit, but since the Giants aren't in the QB market, I haven't went like deep dove like I would if they were. But Justin Fields worries me, man. Like every year, it's like, oh, don't judge the guy by the helmet, and you don't. But you see times where it's like, and what happens with these guys at the big schools? It's so hard to judge. Even a guy like Trevor Lawrence, it's hard to judge them because it's like, hey, when they make mistakes, you don't remember them because the next play, their team and them are able to just make up for it. Where in the NFL, every mistake matters. And even Trevor Lawrence. Have you ever watched Trevor Lawrence when a guy is about to come hit him? He tries to dodge that throw, and that's when he misses. So, and we're kind of we're nitpicking at Trevor Lawrence, but it's like none of these guys are guaranteed, and it's the hardest thing to judge QBs that are at these big schools. It's like everything is just set up for success for them. That's how you get a guy like Dwayne Haskins, even though I don't think Justin Fields is Haskins. And that's why it was so much easier to judge Daniel Jones. It's like, oh, it's going to be almost easier for him at the NFL level. It's like he's not going to have 40 drops in a year and be sacked every other play. The sacks have been similar in the NFL, but it's like the drops. Like I remember, obviously I'm a nutcase and do this way more than anybody else, but on just deep balls, Daniel Jones' completion percentage at Duke goes from like 28% to 75%. Just because of how many drops he had on deep passes. So it's so much easier to judge those small school guys than it is the Clemson, Ohio State, guys.
Yeah, man. And I mean, Justin Fields, that's one that I just mentioned how I can grab some consensuses and kind of figure out where I think I land. I mean, the 2 games that were, the 3 games that were his most watched this year, obviously Alabama, national championship, they got rolled. But Clemson, the game before that, where everyone was on Clemson, and here they come. I mean, it was one of the best games of anybody this season. I mean, 6 touchdowns, 22-28 against Clemson. Like, those are the dudes. The week before that, against Northwestern, he was 12 for 27.
Yeah.
0 touchdowns.
Back against Indiana. So now Justin Fields, because he has that speed, there's more hope. Or it's like you can work with this guy. You can if you put him in the right place, you can make it work. I'd say hope. I mean, he's a top 10 pick. So there's like I don't view Fields as I did Haskins, where Haskins I was just like deathly afraid of picking. But like if there was any of the 3, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, and Justin Fields, where I'd be like, I don't know if I would be excited about picking him, it's Fields. Like, I would pick Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence before him.
I like it, Bobby. And
I hate Trey Lance from North Dakota.
Whoo, eat it, Trey Lance.
I hate Trey Lance.
You are not built different. You are built the exact same as me. Damn, that's tough. Bobby, any Nets takes? I know things are getting hot in Nets country, man.
Most of my friends are Orlando Magic fans.
Sure.
And it's weird that I'm just superior to them now. Whereas usually me and my friends' basketball fandom has been on the same level. I cling to the early 2000s the way they cling to the Shaq and the one Dwight Howard year. And now it's just like my team is the best team in the NBA. Blake Griffin wants to come play for the minimum. Where it's like, I mean, we're going to win the championship. We're going to, I can't wait to watch Joel Embiid, walk off the floor in tears again. I almost hope it goes to Game 7 so I can get that raw emotion from Joel Embiid and just watch him in pain. And then we're going to beat the Lakers. We're going to beat the Lakers. And if they don't have Anthony Davis, we're 100% beating the Lakers.
Okay. You heard it here first. I think we kind of got to start tightening up. Again, it's getaway day. Jom's heading to Denver. I'm heading to Key West. We're getting our jollies off before the baseball season when we're here. I can do a comment of the day. I'm digging through last episode, and Bobby, I'll have you comment. Austin Brown, I said that watching Steph Curry shoot is my favorite thing, like, ever in sports. Like, just watching him shoot. I love it. Austin Brown said, I think a Derrick Henry stiff arm might be tops for me. Just giving someone the business. Like, Austin Brown's got some testosterone running through him. And then he had some comments on the dunk contest. So, Bobby, I don't know. If I said if it's blank.
Watching blank do blank.
Watching blank do blank in sports. What's your favorite? Quentin Nelson tossing guys.
It might be Brett Favre.
Ooh, okay.
Watch. He was amazing. I think Brett Favre is better than Aaron Rodgers. Like when you look at, maybe Aaron Rodgers reels off some of these next couple of years. But I got so frustrated when Aaron Rodgers won that first Super Bowl. It's like, oh, he'd already won one Super Bowl. He's going to win so much more. It's like, who they said the same exact same thing about? Brett Favre in Green Bay. And it's hard to win these things.
Do it.
So Brett Favre might be it. Ray Lewis hitting a man. He. I won't make any dumb jokes, but he's brutal. Like I remember they tested him versus like the what do they call it? Like the what did they call the thing they hit the door with to break down? Like
BD,
the door with
EMT,
to break down. Battering ram.
Battering ram. Yeah,
he hit harder than that. So it might be Ray Lewis. So either Ray Lewis or Brett Favre.
Yeah, I guess that's good. I guess in the football world, it's a running back. Like you could say, like Barry. I was saying Barry Sanders.
I was Barry Bonds, but I don't want to give baseball any love.
Thank you for that. Yeah, it was also like Reggie Bush in college was one of my favorite things to watch, but that kind of doesn't count. I guess like a hard hitting safety is fun too, a Brian Dawkins or something like that.
Taylor.
Like just getting someone.
Couple like pass rusher guys. You can probably
just go to work.
Yeah.
That's a tough one because I mean it's so
like once they break through,
and that's Bobby's nightmare.
Yeah.
So can't let the pass rushers win.
Stuff.
They're the bad guys. So hey, thank you guys for leaving the comment. Wake and Jake channel's up to 1.42. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Keep on keeping on. I don't know. There's conference championship basketball. Bobby, we've talked a little college basketball. Are you getting locked in on it? This has been such a weird year.
I've tried. I can't.
I
can't get into. I used to be able to get into it used to be like, okay, I get into the conference tournaments and then, then the tournament, I'm ready to go with some takes that I formed off of 1 week of watching.
Sure.
I've tried to turn it on at night, and it's like I can't. I'm just not into it at all. The college basketball has to. I'll watch the tournament and I'll get excited about the tournament and do my bracket and all that good stuff. But
yeah,
I can't get into college basketball where someone's not getting eliminated and then being meaningful.
Yeah, beyond just like flipping the occasional Cade game on in the background, and I don't even fully watch. I've done like nothing with college basketball.
Yeah, I feel like because I do the late night college basketball sometimes, and I feel like I've watched a ton of Oklahoma and West Virginia games. So I'll feel very confident in their whatever side of the bracket they end on, but I don't know the other teams at all, so I have no idea. I'm just excited, man, because I think we were eyeing out the next couple weeks of Wake and Jake. Like the bracket's going to be here Sunday, so that's going to be fun to overanalyze for no reason. And then that
a week from today is that first day.
That first Thursday is like one of the most exciting days in sports.
Yeah, it really is.
So excited for that, and then man, soon enough, baseball is going to be here. I know you're excited for that, Bobby. When are free agents going to start actually signing in the NFL?
Monday.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Here. So we might get. Are they in the fake tampering period? I can't believe they label it that way, or whatever the actual title is.
That starts on Monday, but it's like everyone's like it doesn't. Right. We're hearing we're hearing everything at that time.
Okay.
We hear agreements.
Any fun talking Giants stuff coming up, Bob?
Free agency preview tomorrow. Doing all the videos. Draft stuff is obviously is always good. So we're just grinding away.
Love it.
Just putting stickers all over the world.
Race. Oh, I forgot we got a couple race for 10K guys here too. Are you guys cool or what?
Is it a race?
Ooh,
we're cool.
Wow.
Are you second right now, Dave?
Yeah, I've leapfrogged a few people. I don't.
Wow.
My favorite comment is that should be comment of the day is who is Bobby? Because every time someone tweets that,
it's every time one of the tweets comes in. I think is it the same guy every time, or is it a few different.
No, I think it's always different people. Like whether it's Ashlyn or
that
whoever.
makes it funnier.
Who is Bobby?
That's pretty good. I like that.
Which I feel like suits me pretty well.
Well, he is at Bobby Skinner. If you're wondering who Bobby is, go check him out. The Talking Giants stuff has been a lot of fun. Bobby, we still got to we'll do a draft weekend kind of dream plan. We'll do something fun with that between Wake and Jake and doing stuff live. So that'll be good. We John Boy Media Network, man. I'm looking at the bottom of the list right now, and it's crazy. And I want to use it as an ad to promote those things, but it's also like a thanks to everyone that gets involved. I mean, going across the bottom of the screen right now, GM Files, new episode, Talking Folk, Mansplain Baseball, Sequence, John Boy Jake Radio from yesterday, Talking Yanks from yesterday, Talking Nets, Letting It Rip, Talking Baseball, and Talking Giants. We have so much crap from this little.
And also new Chris Rose rotation today.
Chris Rose rotation.
New The Compound, which is ours now. I think came out yesterday.
Jeez, I mean it's. This little damn company has turned into something.
Chris Rose won't acknowledge me. It's saddening.
Okay, we'll work on that. We might maybe we'll ambush him one day.
We're trying to get him on Simple Man Radio.
You guys have been my two football experts on here, so maybe we'll have you guys beef or something.
Can I? I've been tweeting at him from Simple Man Radio, and he just doesn't respond.
I don't think Chris Rose knows what that's all about. So we'll talk to him. We'll talk to him. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Big Baby David. Thank you, Bakers. Wake and Jake channel's going. You guys are the best. Man, it's going to be a big Monday. We'll have some NFL free agents. We'll have the bracket.
Hopefully by the time we're here, we get our first agreement.
Yeah,
tweeted.
Let's get one agreement.
Otherwise,
we'll just start till the
bracket
afternoon.
stuff.
And hopefully Russ
Thursday.
and Deshaun Watson get traded, so Bobby looks like a big old idiot. So
Nothing new. Happy birthday, Justin, by the way.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday, Justin.
That was the other one.
Happy birthday, Justin. Guys, Cushy Dreams, thank you. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you in Key West if you're there. Bobby might be heading down there at some point. Oh, BBD at the buzzer.
Duke men's basketball team is out of the ACC tournament after a positive COVID-19 test within the team.
See you, Duke.
Planted it.
Eat bugs, Trajan Langdon. UConn.
Hey, Jake's back and he's got his own show.
UConn. Thanks, everybody.
Noodle on his left,
Leave a comment.
Jess on his right.
Might as well.
Hey, hold up.
Go check
Don't
out
start a
Simple
fight. He's
Simple
got
Man
you
today?
covered with all the
Tomorrow,
sports.
Simple Man Radio.
Simple Man tomorrow.
Be
Check-
there.
Check
He's
Bobby out
wearing
there.
shorts. It's time
Rose,
for Wake
come
and
on.
Jake
Chris Rose is
in the
coming on.
morning. Wake and Jake at night. Jake sucks.